1:30.
What? No, leaving at 2.
Wake them up at 1:30.
Okay, so now you're getting up at 1:30 and you're leaving
Okay, I
at
don't know
2.
what I'm looking at here.
Oh, let me breathe. All right, so Sue, you're gonna have to tell us how you guys met.
Oh goodness, it's a hilarious story.
We like funny.
He was working for a company that was buying up the foreclosed homes around me, and they would send in crews to gut them and remodel so they can make it, flip them. And he was working on the house next door to my grandma. I call her my grandma. We're not blood, but it's one of those situations. Yeah. And she actually met him first because it was right next door to her house.
Kind of hard to
She's
see
raising
with
her grandson, who's the same age as him, a year younger, because her daughter passed. So her boy and my boy, that's how we got together since they were small. And so I came home from work. He's always at her house, so that's like the norm. I get home from work and I had a text or something. I don't remember what I was texting for, and I got a reply from her saying, "Yes, Pumpkin, come on over. ... now," in all caps. And I thought, okay, the boys are acting up because I would go and mom on both of them, because if they're like, treat them both like he's mine, the other one treat him like he's mine. And I walk in, ready to kick some of these teenage butts, and they're sitting like angels. And I'm like, okay, so I walk into the dining room and she's sitting there, and these two rough-looking guys, him being one of them, and
beard out the ear.
Yeah.
I tell him, you look like Al Qaeda when I met you. You couldn't even see your face. Big old burly beard out to here. He was all dirty, like with paint and the drywall and the plaster dried on his hands, his boots, and I'm walking in and I'm like, I just stop, and I just give him a death stare, like, I'm looking at you like, who is this? Who are these people in here? I was so mean. And she says, "This is Aaron." And I'm like, okay. And she says, "He has music, honey, you should listen." And I'm like looking at her like, God, I can't take you nowhere. She's always doing something like this, I sit down just to be polite for a moment, and he hands me these earphones to listen to his music that he played for me off of a tablet. And I just listened, and I said, okay. In the meantime, I'm looking at him and just kind of staring at him, and I was being very critical just because I was so protective of the boys. And
Sizing me up good.
I was making him nervous. And so afterwards, we chat for a little bit, and then I finally said, "Bubby, why don't you let these gentlemen just leave? You're kind of holding them hostage. They're tired. It's late. You got them here."
Could you leave?
And I'm like, just let them go now. They're probably wanting to get some rest. And they had to stay on site that night, for a few days there to get, I guess, meet a deadline, right? Because they all came from far. And so I think that's why he was there, to let her know, hey,
Plus,
we've got a crew of us staying in the house, just so you don't, in case you hear anything, us voices, there's men in there, okay?
Plus, I was riding a Harley. I was like driving and back and forth all the time. It was far, so I would just stay there.
So then I played nice, and I told Bubby I was tired, I wanted to go to bed, and so I left, and I walked around, and I bypassed my car, and I went straight to next door, and I went pounding on there, and I called him out, and I said, "Who are you?" And he said,
My name's Aaron. I play music.
I said, "What are you doing in my family's house? What are you doing there?" He's like, she let us use the Wi-Fi. He's like stuttering, and I'm like, "What else? Like, what are you guys doing?" And I'm like this, huh? Looking over his shoulder. "What's going on in there? What are you guys doing?" And he's like, "We're a crew. We work together." And I said, "Construction guys. What are you guys doing?" And I'm just being very, some parts I'll leave out. And and I'm just like, I don't know, but if you guys are over here doing any BS, don't you go knocking on my family's door. Don't you go inside. Don't you bug. You stay away from my family. You stay away from my grandma. You stay away from my boys. You hear me? He says, "I'm a good person." I said, "I'm sure you are, but I didn't ask you that." And then I let it go, and I left. And then, suddenly something.
I can dig it.
It's like, wow.
And then the next time I saw him, this was in December. It was about to be December, and then it got really cold, and it was raining and stuff. And I don't know, I had spoken to him briefly, and something about it when I spoke to him that next time was it was really strange. I kind of just got this feeling. And so I went next door and I was talking to my bubby, and I said, something just feels really like familiar. I don't know, like I got this feeling, you know? And I said, I don't know, I think I'm losing my mind. And she says, why? I said, well, because I feel kind of like I want to go give them blankets because they're over there and it's so cold, Bubby. They're just sleeping on the bare floor, and I feel kind of, I don't know why, but I feel like showing a little hospitality. I don't even know why, but she's like, oh, honey, but you were so mean. And I said, I know, right? And I said, it's just, you know, we'll just throw them a couple of pillows and blankets. Come on. And then so she goes with me, and I toss him some pillows and blankets.
Literally.
Yeah. And he's like, well, thanks, you know. And there he tries to give me a hug, and I'm like, just go. And after that, another night, I was coming home from work, and of course, I was single, you know, and having my single life that I just wasn't very happy with. And I said, I came home straight to Bubby's, and I parked in front, and I was really frustrated. And he saw me on the phone. I guess he tells me later that I was kind of, there was somebody I was dating off and on, and I just decided I want no part of it anymore. And I was so frustrated, and I said, oh, I don't want to date anyone. And I had picked up a second job. I said, I'm just going to make my money, take care of my boy. I'm not going to date. I don't want to like anyone. I don't want no one to like me. And it was just that type of deal. And I got out of the car, and I felt like having a drink, but I didn't feel like being out. And I don't drink alone, and I really don't drink at home. That's just how I was. And so I came out of the car, and I looked, and I could see the front end of his motorcycle, the tire, and I'm like, oh, that guy's here. So then I went over and I said, hey! And I said, so you want to drink some beer? And he's like, yeah, I like beer. And he's like, I like beer. I like, and I said, I'm not asking you what you like. I'm saying if you want to drink some beer, I'm going to get some beer, and I'm going to get what I like, and if you want some, I'll share. And he says,
such
okay.
love talk.
She's sweet talk. You
yeah, boy.
She's sweet talk. And so I was going to take off to go get some beer, and I thought, geez, I'm hungry. Hey, are you hungry? And he says, yeah, I can eat. There's actually, I said, I'm not asking you what you want, man. I'm going to go get some food, and if you can eat, I'll bring extra. And he says, okay. So I go, and I get a case of Bud Light Lime, and then I go across, and I pick up a hot family meal from KFC, and I come back, and this house is such a mess. It's gutted, so we're not going in there. And outside, there's a stack of drywall tall enough to be a table. So I just spread out all the food on the table, served him a plate, and then I served myself a plate, and we just sat there like just strangers just eating, and he was looking at me like, this woman's nuts. But it was like after that day, we were just inseparable. He kept saying, why are you spoiling me? I said, I'm not spoiling you, I'm just sharing my food with you. Don't push it. But after that, we just continued to hang out, no funny business, it was just...
Oh, I thought it was the beer.
Oh, that too. That was like,
about everything all the way up to the
saying
sky.
all the right
Hey,
things
this,
right
that,
now.
you know, we just hung out. And he was somebody to hang around that I thought, oh, this is safe. I don't like him, you know? And I thought, no big deal.
I don't like him, but we were inseparable.
But he just never went away. And then he would say to me, you know, this job's coming to an end, and, you know, I'll be gone. And so once we started kind of hanging out, you know, on a different level, and I said,
Squeeze me?
yeah, we weren't just buddies anymore. And I said, well, I know. And I even told my friends, I don't expect him to stay. He lives far. He's just here on work. And he said, well, I'm going to be gone. And I said, yeah, I know. Okay. And then after that, it was like, well, I got to go home. Okay. He kept saying that, but he wouldn't go home. And then when he was finally going home, he said, well, I'm going to go home. You probably won't see me for a while. And I'm like, all right, well.
See ya.
And he left, and then it was like overnight, literally the next day, the next morning, he was right back. And I'm like, I thought you were going to, he's
She'd be in the middle of the night time, you hear my Harley, I'm
and I told him I would always hear, he goes, I would always rev it a little louder when I passed by your window so you would know I was there. And then I would hear it, and I go, yeah. I would turn off the lights so nobody could see me through the blinds, and I go, and then he would come out, and he's like, "Are you looking for the lumberjack?" And then he goes, "So gross." And he just walked away.
You loved him too, huh?
And here we just call him lumberjack because he had this big old beard. And
He
he's
wears
like,
flannels and a big old beard.
and he's like, "The
You were
lumberjack."
feeling the
And I'm
love.
like, "Oh, be quiet." And he's like, "It's gross. Ugh. You guys are gross." And that's just how it was. After that, he kept saying he had to go and that he wouldn't see each other. And I'd say, "Okay." And then he just would leave. And I think I'd see him in a week, if that. And he would come back the very next day. And I'm like, "I thought you don't have to start work till Monday." "Well, you know, it's raining, in case I get caught in the rain. You know, so I'll just stay over there. It's fine." I'm like, "I just wanted to come back." And that's how it was. He just tried to make it seem like, "I gotta go." And I'd say, "Okay." And I'm like, "You just never left. Cut it out."
My heart moved me out of my own home. It's not here to stay.
Yeah, there was that. The kid went on vacation, which gave us a lot of time, you know, to just because he wasn't home, he was on vacation. And so one day he comes home, and I didn't expect, and I had left. We were hanging out that day, and I said, "Just stay, you know, and hang out. I have to go to my second job." And then Gilbert gets home, and he's like calling me on the phone. Some weird lumberjack-looking guy. Looks like he was watching TV and he passed out or something. And I'm like, I said, "Cut it out." You knew he knew who he was, but he didn't know that we continued on. And so when he came home, he was like, "What's he doing in the house?" And I'm like, "Yeah, about that." I just left and was only going to be gone 4 hours because it's a very small shift. I didn't know you were coming home today. And that's just how it was. And I mean, he's been so good to my boy. They get along amazing, and we've had nothing but firsts with him. I mean, even though we live as close to the mountains, neither of us had experienced the snow. We've just done so many things that we just are photos of all the things that we do together. They're all firsts, and it's just really beautiful. It really is. He's a very good man.
So she decided she likes you?
And he puts up with me. He puts up with me, you know, being the meanie that but I love him to pieces. But that's just how I was. When I was single, I was very, and I was always very protective, you know, with my son, and that was just
How long you been married?
A week.
We just got married last week.
When I first saw you come in here, I thought that you're both your son.
Oh.
He looks like he could be Aaron's son.
That's what my family
Oh.
says. They're like, you know,
People
last
probably-
Easter, because my family likes to get together here at the campgrounds at San Dimas,
I know
Pinelli Park.
that.
There's campgrounds there. So I'll have a couple family members bring their big rigs, and we have so much space. And so we started taking him to Easter with us, and it's been a few years. And they said this last Easter, my aunt tells me, "Ask your nanny," which is my grandmother. She says, "Ask your nanny," and we say, "Look at mommy, look at, don't they look like, doesn't it look like it?" Yeah. You know, but everybody's keeping it, you know, like to themselves, because I keep to myself. So my family really didn't know just how involved it all was and where it was going or whether it was still going or not. They just, and now it's like, "You're getting married? No way." Oh yeah. We're getting married, but yeah, that's our story. I was really mean to him and he liked me anyway.
You've been together for, what, a couple of years, is it?
So I grilled him and well, he liked it, I guess.
You like being
I'm a lot
treated-
nicer to him now than when we met. Much nicer.
That's cute. So much for that, getting bees with honey.
Yeah. See, I wasn't trying to get any bees.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like,
That's because you didn't care.
That's pretty
I'm all
funny.
looking at him like this. Better stay away. But yep, that's